And I dislike this whole relationship. I want to see them both die.
Me too.
Yeah. Charlotte especially, though. Like, Lee, I don't like him, but he's more of a pawn. And Charlotte is... I don't like the way she treated Ford.
No respect.
No. Too young. That's it. She was older. Like, I can understand Teresa treating Ford the way she was. I could get behind Teresa, but not this girl.
No.
Charlotte Hale. Ford tells the techs now to clean up Teddy and to take Dolores to the old field lab. So his basement lab has a name. It's the old field lab.
Right, yeah.
How is it that these unseen techs know about Ford's secret lab, but others don't know it even exists? It's not even on their radar. Like, I can understand Bernard not understanding it because maybe they took it out of his mind, but it just seems like it's a secret now. These
maybe they're his like personal minions or something.
Maybe they're all hosts as well.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they be? I guess. So. We're back down to mission control now, as I call it. That room with the big map. The big 3D map. A team sees the video of Armistice and Hector with the two technicians, albeit a little late. I don't know why they wouldn't get that feed live. They begin to dispatch search and destroy teams, but the area goes into lockdown before they can themselves get out. But I think they were able to dispatch the teams. Maeve and her friends... or, her group, they travel through the labs, now in alarm mode. A team goes around looking for them, and they are quickly killed by Armistice and Hector. And now they have machine guns. Ho, ho, ho. I don't know if that's a direct... I was trying to make a reference, but I messed it up. All my references I mess up. That was supposed to be from Die Hard.
Oh, okay.
Where he says, and now I have a machine gun.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, because they send a guy down in a elevator, and he's got a sweater on, and he's got a sign on him saying, now I have a machine gun. Ho, ho, ho.
Okay.
I messed it up. Just like I messed up a line last week. I was trying to do the Anthony Hop. We got feedback.
Oh, yeah.
I keep saying we got feedback, but it was a comment that someone left, too, that I messed up that line. Because I said... eat his liver with a nice Chianti. And I completely forgot. It was like, I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti. And I'm disappointed in myself for messing it up. There's no going back.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was close enough.
Wow. It wasn't. Too disappointed. We see Bernard walking through the gala event. At first I thought that this might have been Arnold from the pre-opening or something, but I quickly realized it was just Bernard. It was getting difficult to keep track of all the timelines, though. I'm glad now it's kind of solidifying into a one piece.
Yeah, me too.
At least after this episode. We can only hope. Maeve and the others are still making their way through the compound. They enter into another area that we have not seen before. It was a big SW on the walls, on the windows, for Samurai World.
Oh, okay.
This logo seems... it must have been Samurai World, right? Or Genghis Khan World, as we're calling it. Maeve asks Felix what this is, and he just says it's complicated. It's just a bunch of... It looked a little more boring, though. Everyone's just in there. They all look the same.
Their armor.
Yeah. Maeve, and it just seems like you could not survive there as a human. Like,
no.
If a human goes down there, you're not going to make it out. You're just going to get slaughtered.
Unless
Maeve
you're Tom Cruise.
Yeah. Tom Cruise could survive anything. Maeve and Felix continue on as Hector and Armistice hang back to kill the guards. Armistice gets her arm caught in the doorway. Doorway shuts, and she tells the rest to go. And they do not have a problem with it. I mean, I don't know why they would. I mean, what's her name? Armistice killed Hector, and storyline's passed, so it's fine. It's fine. Felix hands Maeve a bag and leads her to an elevator. Hector is told to stay behind as the door closes, and he's fired at.
Every man for himself.
Yeah, well, if we are to believe that the charges are real in their spine, then what good is he going to be out there? So... better to not draw attention leave him down there. He'll be brought back to life eventually. Ford brings Dolores back online in his basement office, and they talk about paintings. Bernard appears, and Ford introduces the two of them because they've never met. She's only ever known him as Arnold. Mm-hmm. The painting they discuss is Michelangelo's. It's called the Creation of Adam, or God in Adam. It's the very iconic God and his angels kind of touching fingers with Adam. Mm-hmm. He says that there's a deeper meaning to the paintings, a metaphor, but Dolores calls it a lie. Ford explains that Arnold saw his son leave this world, and that what he lost, he tried to rekindle in Dolores. He created a test of empathy and imagination, a maze, which he got the idea from one of his son's toys. She solved it. And the key was a simple update called the Reveries. So, yes, at the beginning I wasn't sure who gave her the Reveries. Mm-hmm. It was Arnold, as we find out right here. Mm-hmm. So she did solve the maze. She was given a key.
Like she solved the maze 30 years ago.
Yeah.
But then it was wiped from her memory again.
I guess, but she was given the Reveries, but she only really got the Reveries in the last update. So it was an update that only came into play recently.
Okay.
So maybe Ford gave them the Reveries, but Arnold created the Reveries. Mm-hmm. So maybe she has the key, but she doesn't know where the lock is, because she hasn't completely unlocked it yet. Mm-hmm. So when Ford refused to halt the opening of the park, Arnold updated her by merging her with the new character they were creating called Wyatt. So I guess this whole time she was Wyatt.
Okay.
Confusing. Because I thought we definitely saw Wyatt.
Wait, why is she Wyatt again?
She's Wyatt because that's what Arnold did to her. Arnold updated her with a character that him and Ford were creating called Wyatt. Okay. Which gave her the inclination to murder everybody? I don't know exactly. I don't know exactly why she needed to be merged with Wyatt to do the things she did. And if Wyatt... Because Wyatt, we know, still exists in this timeline, in the present.
Right, yeah.
But he might be a whole different incarnation of Wyatt. It might not be Dolores at this point. Wyatt's got to play a part in next season, right?
Right, yeah.
Because he's got to be the leader of all these hosts, but I guess that could still be Dolores.
I
hope we get some feedback about that, because it's something I'm going to have to rewatch too and really try to figure out some of these things. This is a early speculation on this episode. I've only seen it twice. So now we see back 35 years ago, just after the massacre, Arnold apologizes to Dolores for what he made her do and for what her life would be now. Really just that she's going to kill him, but she's going to have to go on living and having these little, kind of like living in a hell, like he said.
Yeah, after killing Arnold. This is the flashback you're talking about?
Yeah.
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 But he must have known that after, like, the park would close and she would be decommissioned or something like that, and she wouldn't really have a consciousness again. But
this is probably when he realized he didn't know how to help her. Okay. And didn't know how to help any of the hosts. Mm-hmm. He thought that this would help and it probably set them on the right path, but he really didn't know what to do next. Mm-hmm. So he plays Charlie's favorite song. I don't know if this was Reverie by Debussy. I assume it was. It kind of sounded like the old ones, but there's a lot of music in this episode that I didn't follow. Arnold says he wants to see him again, and so Dolores shoots him in the head just after he says the key words here, these violent delights have violent ends. And she shoots Teddy and herself. Poor Teddy again. Teddy never knows what's going on, and then all of a sudden
it's too late.
Yeah, he shoots everybody because Dolores tells him to.
Yeah.
And then Dolores shoots him, and the look of sadness on his face.
And then she shoots herself.
Yeah, and then she shoots herself.
Did Arnold know that, or did Arnold command her or know that she was going to shoot herself right after shooting him?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
If that was in Wyatt's storyline.
So basically, like, there's no hope. He thought there was no hope for them, and that giving them consciousness might have been the wrong thing to do? Which is why they had to put an end to everything?
Yeah, I think so, because Ford didn't want to shut the park down and let these robots live as humans. He knew that if he just reverted them back to a more basic model, that it wouldn't work. They would still end up at some point having these reveries or having or realizing that they're in a living hell. So I don't know what his goal was, to have them kill everyone. I think that was to make sure the park gets shut down.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so if the park is shut down, then this whole thing just gets buried and nobody suffers.
Right,
but Ford didn't let it happen.
Like committing suicide.
Yeah. And, why is Ford going to bring all these robots back online if there's no park? Which would have been fine, but Ford didn't believe Arnold and, did everything in his power to get the park running again. All right. So, here we go. Where was it? Ford also says that he was only able to keep the park open because of William, which Dolores found. So that was probably one of the first I don't know. It's probably in the first couple of years that the park was open then.
Yeah.
Ford now says that he had Bernard hide the gun that she originally killed Arnold with somewhere where she could find it, since it was she was always drawn to it. He says now that Dolores was probably right, that Michelangelo did tell a lie, and that it took someone 500 years to notice something hidden in plain sight in his God and Adam painting. God and the angels around him formed the image of the human brain. The message being that the divine gift does not come from a higher power, but from our own minds. And then he goes on to reveal that the two of them used to be husband and wife.
Wait, who used to be husband and wife?
I just threw that in there to see if you were paying attention. And it was also what I wanted. I wanted Ford and Dolores to be husband and wife. And I really thought that's where it was going. So one theory that is not proven right. I am
a little disappointing. I
have failed on that. He's got to mean something to somebody. Like, why is there so much care put into the way she looks and her... I don't know. I feel like we definitely need to hear a little more about this. And it's maybe not a wrong theory. It just hasn't been proven yet.
Yeah.
But no, it ends there where he's talking about the brain hidden in the painting. And I never noticed that before. Did you?
Me neither.
And when I look back on it...
it could just be... not necessarily a brain, is it?
It looks super obvious when I look back to it. Not only did it have the form of the brain, but then the surrounding image was like the membrane around the brain.
Oh.
So it really formed the right shape.
Oh, I never noticed.
But I didn't look into any research on that. It'd be neat if they were the ones to discover that. And they just,
after all these years, I don't think so.
Yeah. They just had... The show is just a way to get that information out there. So Ford asks if she found what she was looking for and what she is meant to become if she ever wants to leave this place. He doesn't wait for an answer, and he excuses himself, just letting her sit there and stare off blankly into space. Maeve puts on the clothes in the bag that Felix had given her. Felix hands her a note with the information about her daughter, who is alive and in the park. I don't know why Maeve wants this information. I don't feel like it's really that important, especially if Maeve is aware that these are all just fake memories.
Yeah, but I think she still, is hanging on to those memories. It affected her.
Yeah.
Her entire personality.
I guess. But that piece of paper said Park 1, Sector 15, Zone 3. So Park 1. Different parks. If they have to label these as Park 1, Park 2. Park 2 is probably Samurai World. Park 3, Space World.
Yeah.
Park 4.
Not a big surprise,
Jurassic
though, right?
World. That's out there for sure. I'd love to see that. Maybe in like 4 or 5 seasons from now, we go to... Everything just clashes. We get people from Westworld riding on the back of T-Rexes. And
yeah, that would be awesome.
It would. I'm not even lying. That show would be amazing. Okay. So Maeve also agrees with me. She says that she never had a daughter. It was just what they made her think. She tells Felix as a compliment that he makes a terrible human being and walks out down the escalator and onto the train car. So she's almost out scot-free. In the church,